Alright, here we go. Hey, my name's Eric. I'm here to code. I'm here to make faces that you can talk to. It gets me excited. It's a party for me to do this. Let's demo. Let me show you recent progress. So we come over here. Alright. What we got? So this is a screen that's used for editing an interactive script of what a character says and how they can respond to you when you talk to them. With your mouth, by the way. There's going to be speech recognition involved. So yesterday, I started creating these draggable areas over here, these little white lines. And I want, like a few hours on that. I did make some headway. I got some CSS stuff working on it so that the layout will have this over here, and it's got a repeating texture in that area. If you click on it, you can, oops, I'm showing something else I didn't mean to show yet. It would move this little thing around. All the while, there's something kind of nagging in the back of my head. The way I'm doing this is it's not the best way, is it? I did find a Stack Overflow response that said do it this way. But there was something else. There's a different way to do it than how I had started out to do it. And it's better. It handles a lot of the dragging and dropping stuff for you. Okay? So if I continued this route, I would have to write all the code to animate this bar moving around as you pick a new position. And there's something else you can do. You can just say an element is draggable. And if you do, then you get this behavior. The browser makes a copy of the element and lets you kind of drag it all over the place or move it around. I mean, it's not actually dragging anything. All it did is make a visual copy of the div element. And whenever I have my mouse down, hold, and move it around, it's showing this thing moving. So there's some other events I can hook into on drag start, on drag end to complete this reordering thing. Now the overall thing I'm trying to do is to make it so you can take one of these lines and say, oh, this isn't where it belongs. I want to move it further down the script. It'll happen here. Or, yeah, a lot of times somebody might get confused when they add a line. They might think this line I'm going to add, it'll pop to the very end of the script. But they're wrong, and it will pop in right after the currently selected line. Here, I'll show you. Hey, delete me. All right, so it popped in this line here. Now, if you were the user and you wanted that line to be down at the bottom, without having a drag and drop functionality, you'd have to fix your mistake, you'd have to come in and delete this line. And then click down here at the bottom and then add the line and do all your work again in that dialog. But what I really want to happen is that you can just drag it down there, the same line you created. And then for these replies that show up underneath, it's possible to have multiples of them. And they specify key phrases to match in speech recognition, right? So the thing with that is the order that you match against might matter. So I'll cancel out of here. So suppose I've got multiple things to match against. Let's take this example here. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Let's add a reply, something else that the player might say in response to I'll be back in 5 minutes. won't be here, can't stay. I'm doing fragments of text that we can match against in speech recognition. I'm gone, I'm leaving, bye. So Jerry in response says, no, you have to stay. Or some random responses. I can add a few more. I need you to stay. You gotta stay put. Okay. So those are just some random responses that the Jerry might say. Okay, so I've got two of these replies here. There might be some things that a player could say that would match both of these. So at times, let me see if I can come up with an example. So this one's matching against a question. So the player might say, I won't be here, and by the way, what's in the bag? Which matches both of these. Well, it might be more important to match this guy here first. And if that were the case, then I'd want to drag it to the left of the first one. And that would affect the speech recognition matching. Okay. So that's why I want to get this dragging to work. If I don't have dragging, if I do it without dragging, then it's like buttons that you say move up or move down. You click up, it moves up one, maybe more complicated UI than that. Move to the very front, move to the very end. It just doesn't beat the elegance of being able to drag. It's a simple UI, it's intuitive. People almost expect it to work at this point. So what I'm going to do is, in this session today, is undo this little bit here. I won't use that approach. I won't use these little white drag bars. The reason why I was having a limited drag bar was because I knew I needed something that could animate besides the line to move over the space. But now that I see that I can drag the whole thing, and the browser is going to create a representation of the thing I'm dragging automatically, there's no need for these little drag areas. So I'm going to take those off, and I'm going to see if I can get not the whole feature working, but a predictive visual cue of where the insertion point will be once the player lets go. That's going to be my goal for the next 2 hours tops. So let's get going on it. Oh, the other thing I did is I wrote some data structure reordering code, which is not very demoable, but it was kind of neat as far as GitHub Copilot being very helpful in writing some code for me and unit tests to make sure that code was functioning correctly. It made a lot of good decisions that were exactly the same decisions I would have made, and 1 or 2 lines of code were more elegant than what I would have written, if I'm completely honest. All right. So first thing, let's just get rid of this drag UI. And the first thing is I can just get rid of all these. Edit, delete, bam. And now Spiel Notes view. It's got these spans here I worked really hard on. It's a little bit sad to take them out. I almost feel like leaving them in, but without the image there, because like I could see myself wanting to put something else there later. I think what I'll do is just make a commit on this file in particular, Spiel Node view, git commit, source, Spiels. What do you got? What do you got? Spiels. Screen. Okay. Pane. What was it again? Spiel. No. View. Okay. TSX and then source. You know what? I could do like that. That's what I want. Saving the. Okay. This has the layout for a draggable set of cells to left and right of a main cell. I decided to do dragging a different way, but the layout may be useful in the future if I want UI to appear with the node. Okay, so now that I've saved that one commit, I can come back to it later if I want. But I don't like to leave code in my project that isn't doing anything, so we shall delete. Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of all this. Yeah, it's easy enough to bring all this back. Let's just delete. Let's get back to a clean state. Not assume anything needs to stay here if it's not actually known to be part of the solution. Okay. Disable, so done, bum, bum, bum. That looks fine. And then go into here and get rid of the stuff that just is no longer used. Okay. Let's see if I can get to a non-regress state. I want to go back into the web app and see everything pretty much correct. It switched to the other font. I think that's just, yeah, okay. Let's see how we're doing over here. Okay, that looks fine. Layout seems fine. And do a little chat separator here so I can easily see if anybody adds new chats. Okay. That all seems fine. Let me just do git status to see what all my changed files are at this point. Okay. Looks like I missed adding a few files earlier. Git commit A. All right, let's change these and revert to non-draggable to node view without draggable areas, because I'm going to do it a different way. Okay, and then the other two files, git add source, git commit. Forgot to check in these dialogues. Okay, put that up to GitHub. This project is all open source. I would like to do something too later where the mood of each line, if I click on it, it'll just make this face update to show that mood. I think that would be fun. I do not know why it keeps on moving down when I click on these lines up here. That's such a strange effect. It is a very strange effect. Pretty sure it has to do with a scrollable area inside of it. Yeah, anyways, I don't want to get sidetracked with that. Draggable. Okay, so if I do a non-drag event, the question is, can I take the event and the coordinates client X, Y that come from it, but really just the Y value, and use it to draw an insertion point? Maybe the first thing is, let's create an insertion point piece of UI and make it so that can be displayed. Yeah, let's do that first. So the Spiel node view, Spiel nodes view. Okay. It could receive a property called insert after node no number or null. Okay. No, nice try, nice guessing. Means don't display. -1. Yes. That's beautiful. That's Copilot trying to figure out what I want to do. And that's great. Okay. So let's destructure that new property. Okay. Okay, let's change this to I think I need a way for any node to either display an insertion point before or after it. So for that, Spiel node view, let's export an enum. Yeah. Let's see what you do. Jeez. After one more. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. But you know what? That honestly wasted a little bit of time. Insert position, none. Before, after. I don't really need the string representation of it. Okay. Insert position. Insert position, yeah, okay. So here we'll say display insert, yeah. Okay. Okay, const, class name. Yeah, that's a good starting point. And then here, I'll say, boy, it's really guessing well. Let's tab and see what it actually threw in there. Okay, you said props display insert position equals, then we're going to say, yeah, styles insert before. It's a really good guess, but I'm just going to delete it. It definitely knew what I was getting at, but I just want to do it in a completely different way. Let's do get style for, yeah, thank you. And then I can take this and put it here, and I can remove the props. Hey, stop. Okay, down here, we're just gonna go class name. Function get, yep. Yep. Just do the whole thing. I trust you. Go ahead. There you go. Alright. Except you always need a second tab. I'm not sure why. Okay. Let's take a look at what it said. That's exactly what I want. That's very nice. Okay, styles insert before, insert after. Insert before. Insert after, and I just don't think it has any way of knowing my intention here. I'm really not going to let it guess. I think it's something like border top style solid border top color, not transparent, but we'll go with just black for now. Border, yeah, that was the next one I was going to get to, but let's go with 0.3 rem. Nice thick line. Okay, now let's see if you've got enough info to figure out what I'm going to say down here. Very good. Very good. It's like I'm mentoring a precocious intern. Okay, so coming back to the Spiel node view. Okay, so I got my class name here. It combines a couple classes. Okay, so it's just going to draw, a big thick line, either at the top of it or the bottom of it. That's cool. Spiel nodes view. Okay, so here I need to figure out what the, you were just going to try something. Go ahead, try it again. Yeah, thank you. That's kind of it. Okay, node equals insert node after node no. Needs to be a little more special cased. Also, I'm going to need an import from Spiel node view. See if writer can guess what it is. It's not guessing, so let's help it. I'm forgetting what it was. Insert position. There, writer got that one. You gotta give everyone, all the robots credit, appropriate credit. Sometimes Copilot's helping me out. Sometimes JetBrains writer is helping me out. Maybe there's other robots somewhere that are helping me that I don't even know about. But on the other hand, the robots aren't really giving the humans credit for all their contributions. So that makes me less charitable in giving robots their proper due. I sweat. I get it at the end of the day. Gonna wipe off the top of my eyelids. I got sensitive eyes. All right. Where's a good wet washcloth when you need it? Okay, there's insert position. Let's just make a function out of this. Get insert position, and you did identify the two things I need to pass. Thank you. Now let's see if you can figure out the right function signature. Okay, the node number, insert after node no. That's true. You are missing like a thing on the end. That would be, yep, good job. Why do I feel like I need to encourage it? All right. Come on. And why does it always fuck up the first tab? Okay. So we say that if insert after node no is null, or is always going to return none. And then we say that if, and let's do better than, oh wait, no. It's smart enough to take into account the comment up here. That's the only way I can see that it's getting this pattern. Okay, we say if the node number is the first one, then we'll do insert position before. Otherwise, we'll do insert position none. Okay. Then we say insert after. Okay, if the node number matches the one we're inserting after, then we'll do the after insert position. Otherwise, none. That's excellent. I'm very impressed with that. Okay, so then down here, let's do, which one do you think? Yep. God, it's just good. It's just really good. Sometimes it feels smarter than me. Other times it doesn't. That's the truth. Other times it feels kind of stupid. It feels like an over-eager intern. All right. So then I have Spiel node view probably correctly set up. Spiel nodes view, which is rendering all of the nodes together. It feels like it has what it needs. Let's go up one level to the Spiel pane. And now Spiel nodes view wants something. It wants essentially the same thing. So let's take the same prop I had in Spiel nodes view. And take it to the pane. Okay. Yeah, except that we'll destructure it. Okay, that means go up one more level. And to start with, okay, so the red squiggle is it wants an insert. Okay. And you don't know what to put here yet. It was a pretty good guess about where I might want to add it. That's pretty good, but it's wrong. Let's just, to begin with, let's say null. That's the easiest one to test. That means there shouldn't be anything going on, no display changes. So then I come back to here. We're good. We have not regressed. Okay, now let's do -1. There's the big stupid line. Okay, so arguably the CSS is not so great, but that can be fixed. That's not a hard thing. Moving on, let's try the other cases. Okay, there's the insertion point just beneath. So if I'm dragging this around, I think that works pretty well. The only thing that doesn't work well with the CSS is when you come over the selected line and it puts this border just underneath here. That's not going to be visible. But I can fix that. That's not hard. That's not hard. Okay, let's take a look at this. See if I can get it to go after the very bottom line. So far it's going great, to be honest. And I have no reason to think that it's going to need to be fixed beyond the cosmetic stuff I just mentioned. So that's after 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And there's the bottom line right there. Okay. I'm going to just step away just for a moment to use the restroom, and I will be right back.
She's one of those types. But do we understand?
Hey, just look away.
What a bruise.
Pushing on its own doesn't matter.
Violet, I've pushed people by accident.
I'd rather we not focus on that.
That's the bad look. He's upset, but he's always upset.
She's probably fine, but don't draw attention to
I
yourself.
don't care if she's a pusher.
What?
We'll go back to normal. Just wait a
People
bit.
want to ruin it for everyone else.
Send the other people and see what they say.
Okay, you're saying
Hey,
she's too
nobody
pushy.
died. You should be more
Can we
afraid.
get a beard in here?
Why is it that hard? She just wanted people to clear a path.
She pushed someone
She's one of those types.
at first glance, but do we understand?
Hey, just look away.
What a bruise.
Pushing on its own doesn't matter.
Violet, I've pushed people by accident.
I'd rather we not focus on that.
That's the bad look. He's upset, but he's always upset.
She's probably fine, but don't draw attention to
I
yourself.
don't care if she's a pusher.
What?
We'll go back to normal. Just wait a bit.
People want to ruin it for everyone else.
Send the other people and see what they say.
Okay, you're saying
Hey,
she's too
nobody
pushy.
died. You should be more
Can we
afraid.
get a beard in
back to it. Alright, so the next thing is when I'm dragging these, yeah, I'll fix that little cosmetic problem first. Here, let's inspect, and on the div, there's something like a border inline. This is one of the cases where I'd really like the border to be outside of the box area. Usually, I want it to be inside, because that means that the border won't cause layout differences when you add it in. It's just usually easier to keep it there. But in this case, I think I want it to be outside. I think that's what I need. I just totally forgot what is that value called. So let's see. Index TSX. No, all right. CSS border inside box, inside div. Now that's not what I want. It's just easier to look up. The opposite version of this problem that people are solving. So I can just get the, okay, box sizing. Okay, box sizing, that's the one. Come back to here. So box sizing. And then, what do I want? Content box. I'll try that. No, it's still. Do I need to use like one of those, like Moz or WebKit box sizing? No? Okay, that doesn't work. Alright, what were the other options? Default? No. Border box? I feel like border box is what I've got though. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, that's my default there. So let's go to MDN. Good old Mozilla. Okay. Content box. Okay, that's like borderless. Here we say, now we're going to add a 5-pixel border around it. Makes it grow. You say border box, it stays inside, right? Yep. Okay. So I think I want. Oh, they also did padding. Okay, I think I want content box. Okay, I guess padding. Point 0.3 REM. Don't like that. No, okay, the padding, I don't need that. Maybe it has to be up here. Doesn't really make sense because I think they would both have that. Huh. Okay. If it comes down to it, I can have a separate div. I just don't want to complicate the HTML elements beyond where I need to. Okay, just to make sure I've got the right thing. Yeah, that's the right style to change. Okay. I guess, why is it not being affected? That bothers me a little bit. Box sizing, content box. There is another way to do this. Oh, we've got some border color stuff too. Oh, that's the issue. I'm already using the border for this. Okay. Got it. So if it's selected, we're just saying border style solid, or border color changes the button highlight. I wonder if I can do instead. Let's just use the same border. Huh. Get rid of the box sizing. That's not really the issue. It's, can we update? Can we update part of it? Okay. And it looks kind of like one of the styles is overriding the other. Let's take a look at that. And it's not in the order I thought. Okay. So if I go down here, it's applying that particular style for the hover. That could be the issue, because hover will go on top of the other stuff. Okay. You know, the easiest way to get through this might be to add some more elements. Let me just think about it just a little bit longer. Border color. Don't mess with the border. Do I need the border to be part of the highlight? I do not. I do not. That's how we do it. Okay, I got that one solved. Okay, now how about thickening the border? The thing is, I don't want to thicken that border. So let's just see if I can. Here, let's click on that once. That seems fine. Okay. So insert before. Let's do border, top, width, and then we'll do 0.3 rem. That felt like a lot. Let's just do 2. And then let's see if you can get it for me, Copilot. Good job. All right. Yeah, 2 is enough. A different color might be nicer. Yeah, stick with black. Black is fine. All right, so that part's done. Now let's do the dragging. Dragging. We need to take the client Y coordinate and somehow translate it to the position inside of this whole thing. I'm going to start by just seeing if I can get that drag event to give me some information. That's pretty unambitious, but I'm just waiting just a little bit longer before I get into the hard part. So, let me think. Spiel node view. The div is draggable. We'll say on drag. Event. And then it's got to pass it to let's just do all 3 of them. On drag event. Actually, if I'm just going to pass the event, then let's just do okay, let's do on drag node. On drag in, yeah, good. Okay, then up here. Don't like to do any, but like that one, it's just a little bit. Like it'll hint at me what the right event type is, but whenever I type it in, it causes a syntax error. So on drag node, and then I got to order these reverse on drag. What do I want? Maybe on node drag. On node drag in. I think that's the better name. Set of names. Okay. So on node drag. Okay. So let's go up. That's the Spiel node view. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to pass these through 3. I don't like using the context, and I know other people do, but I don't. I'd rather just pass a bunch of properties. Here, no, this goes up here. Okay, then I have to say, because it's a little bit different now, I need the specific node number. Yeah, there's actually a good reason in my case to pass the properties through, because there's different context at each point. Okay, so on no drag end. Let's see if Copilot can help me out here. That's good. I can do a little bit better by destructuring. Okay, and then I can get rid of the props. Yep. Okay. So now I've got that defined. I can go up one more level to the pane, the Spiel pane. And here, yep, very good, yep, need to destructure. And that's so much destructuring, it's time to have an extra line. Now come back down here and let's add the glue. Yep. Okay. Then we go up a line, or up a component to the Spiel screen, which is the last or topmost component. Okay, and it's up correctly red squiggling here. So here is where I'm going to hook into something to figure out here. That's totally wrong suggestion, but I'm going to figure out event. Let's see, what's the order? Dragged, No. Don't get screwed up by Copilot. And then it's going to be... I gotta take a look again at the pane. Okay, how do I do event and node number? Okay. So it's event, node number, and then, yeah, that's not a bad suggestion to start since I haven't actually written anything yet. And let's do on node drag end. Yeah, not bad. This is going to be a use state. So let's see, let's insert after node now. Okay, let's do const insert after node no. Yeah, that's pretty close to what I wanted, but I'll start with this being insert position from spiel node view or null, and we'll start out at null. Okay, this guy is going to come down and replace my hard-coded node number. All right, so that should be enough plumbing to get some console log messages. Let's see how I'm doing. The console is going to fill up with stuff. What's all this? I'm not sure if that's legit or not. Let's come over here, do a refresh, come back into Spiel screen. That might have just been kind of transitory error messages. Okay. So no error messages there. Cool. So now I click here. Nothing happens yet. I've got my mouse down. I haven't moved yet. I'm going to drag. Okay. I'm getting events. I came to a stop. I'm waiting for it to... Boy, it's just repeating all those messages. So if I'm dragging, it doesn't actually require mouse movement to continue those messages, which is a little bit off-putting. Let go, and it gave me the drag end. And it stopped making messages. Yeah. Okay. So on node drag, and then it said node number 3, which is good. That was the one I was dragging. Pretty sure it was. Pretty sure it was. Anyway, I'll do one more just to make sure. Okay, so I know this one should be 1. It's 1. Okay, cool. Okay, got my events. So what I need to do is build a lookup table of Y positions and the corresponding node numbers. So I'm kind of wondering, do I get a Y value that's just represents Y from the top of the scrollable area? I think I do. Maybe let's check on that next. I also really wish I could figure out what the event was, what the type for it was, besides it being any. Because then I would have like autocomplete possibilities, you know. But I don't feel like going on a Stack Overflow search for it right at the moment. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, let's write a function that gets called and that'll be away from all this stuff here. I'll just get it refactored out a little bit. Interactions. Yeah, I don't need to put in a different file, but I'll just put it up above for now. So it's going to be a function. It'll be on node drag, and it'll be event node no. And you know, since okay, I could remove this and just have the function there, but I think eventually I'll end up passing some other variables here. Okay, so I'll leave it in that form for the moment. And then this one on node drag end underneath, which I probably could have gotten Copilot to autocomplete for me, but I don't know, I gotta do a few things myself. The thing that it would affect is set insert after node no. Okay. On node drag end, I don't know yet what that's going to affect. Actually I do know. I can do set insert after node no, and I can use that to set this back to null. Okay. So come up top, function on node drag, just autocomplete. Can you get it with no? That's so wrong. Okay, ignore you this time. I'm going to do event any. I'm going to do node no number. Yeah, now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. You have no idea what I want to do. So let's just ignore your auto completing. Okay, that's correct. That is correct. That is one of the things I would have done. Okay. And this part is actually hard. But to begin with, I just want to nope, you don't know. You don't know. To begin with, I just want I want to log the property inside of event, and you have no idea. There are times when I can tell the Copilot's clueless and I'm totally on my own and I shouldn't listen to it. Yeah. Let's see what values are available to me inside of the event. Client Y, MDN, client Y. I think that's inside the parent element. If it was, that would be great. That would just be what I need. Within the application's viewport. No, that's not what I want. Offset Y, that might be it. That's probably it right there. So let's do console log event offset Y. Okay. So if that's the case, then I click here. Oops. Let's just clear that out. Oh. Okay. Is it event target offset Y? Dang it. Let's just log the friggin' event and I'll take another look at it. Okay. Client Y. Screen Y. Target. No, that's not what I want. Okay. Native event. Offset Y. Negative 306. Hold on, hold on, hold on. It may have been saying relative to itself. That's where it's at. So if I click here and I just drag up a tiny bit, then my thought is it should be like -1 or something like that. So let's take a look at that. What was it? Native event. -124, that seems like a lot more. There. Event, native event, offset Y. Okay, let's clear you out. And then I'll start here. Okay, it's holding at 27. I moved up. Come down. Yeah, it gets further. I don't know why, like here is 27. Come up here. Or maybe it's my click point. So I'm clicking somewhere inside of the target. I mean, that kind of works because what do I want to be used for the insertion point? Is it the top of that thing I'm dragging? No, it's really it's wherever my mouse cursor is when I'm dragging. So if I'm here, then that mouse cursor is right at the insertion point, and I could set that underneath. Up here, -5, yeah. See, that's pretty good. Okay. Okay, and if I drag from the very top, let me test my theory. Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, cool. So the next thing would be, okay, if we have that as an input. Wait. Let me check also. Suppose this is scrolled. Okay. And I click here, like right in the middle of the Jerry word. Yeah, I don't know about that. Also, I think I need like a few more lines so I can test the scrolling better. Or just even one more line. This is my bag. This is not your bag. Don't steal my bag. Whoops. Okay, I'll have to leave that for later. Okay, but Okay, so here's the question. If I click here, right around the top of the F, I should get a value. That's 16, okay. So if I scroll up, I click again around the top of the F, I'm hoping it'll be 16. It is, it's close, okay. So the offset Y, it doesn't care about the scroll position, which is perfect. I want that offset Y to be based upon the top of this containing element for all of these nodes underneath, all these lines underneath. So that's good. Okay. So offset Y is going to be my input, and I need something that will compare it to the known heights of all of these elements and say which one does it fall within inside of. Okay. And this is going to be a fair amount of code. I'm going to add, yikes. Didn't like that. I may have to close this guy and come back in. Whenever I see the IDE acting very strange, it's just time to restart it. You don't want to mess around with the IDE being in a bad state. Random things can happen. Okay, Wisp. Okay, come back here to interactions now. Let's see, add there. Now it's acting normal. Let's call this drag util. Okay, and then over here, let's yank that out. And honestly, let's call it interactions. Because I'm saying interactions means that it's coupled to knowledge of the screen that's going to be calling into it. Okay, so then I put these guys here. Whereas a util is maybe a little more like just a set of functions that are a little more self-contained. That's my naming convention. Okay. Then let's unbreak what I broke. Unnode drag end, unnode drag. Make these guys be imports. You can be an import too. But clean up my imports because Ryder puts it in a weird spot that isn't helpful to me. I guess same for this guy too. Insert position. Okay, what was the other one? I just pasted it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this will bring up top. I should probably redo these. Oh, foe! What's going on? You are an animator or an animator? Because those two things, I don't know if they're even the same thing. So, okay, that unbreaks it. Now, next thing is I want to build a structure the structure, what will the type of it be? Let's see. Type. I'm totally ignoring GitHub Copilot right now. I'm closing my eyes so I don't even look at its suggestions for what to name this structure, because it doesn't know. I know. Let's call it a drag table or drag measurements. That's what I like. That's what I like. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know yet. You're gonna know. But not yet. You don't know. You do not know. Okay. Let's see. Well, you're off to a good start. And, you're a bit of an innovator, because most people would just do hello world. But you said, no, this Python program is going to be mine. It's going to say my name. I don't know much about Python. I did kind of play around with it earlier this year because for data science stuff, it's just got more support than anything else, and I wanted to do a few data analysis things. I installed this kind of giant development environment called Anaconda, and it was pretty nice because it pulled in like a lot of the tools you might use for data science type stuff, including like Jupyter Notebook. But yeah, I don't know my way around Python. Sometimes I can get a few things done in it. Let's see. So drag measurements, we'll say it's going to be node heights. And yes, it will be a number. Yeah, maybe it's not bad. I don't know. I never heard anything bad about Python. I'll say that. Like nearly any other language, there's something bad to say about it. Python, nobody gets excited about. Well, I'm sure there's people that get excited about it because it's been around for a long time, But people generally say, yeah, it's good. But I think most languages are just fine. Just pick the one that suits you. Especially when you're learning, it's just like pick one that's easier. Pick one that you won't get stuck on as much, and you can learn the general principles, and those translate well to other things. I think this might be all I need. Drag measurements. It's going to have the node heights. That's a correct comment, but it's such a stupid comment that it makes me think I don't need that comment. So, yeah. So it's not like JavaScript is so hard in and of itself. It's more like in order for you to create a web app out of it, there's like an extra set of things you need to know. They're a pain. If you did just pure Node.js JavaScript, which would be like a command line interface of input and output, that's not bad. That's pretty easy. That's probably similar in difficulty to running like Python scripts from your command line. Java, I think, is maybe a different story because it's going to force you to be more object-oriented. I still don't think it's bad as a beginning language. It does require you also to learn more about types, which is kind of like it means it's harder to start out with, but it'll force you to get some fundamentals. So I could see an argument for Java. But I think starting out, pick one that seems kind of easy to get going in. And write that, print your name program, and then go on to the next tutorial. Get a few simple programs under your belt, and then like the things you want to do that are more ambitious won't be so hard. I don't know anything about Python Witch. What's she doing? Assuming that's some kind of like AI type thing. I don't know anything about it. Well, here, I'll Google it real quick. Instead of making you type an explanation. Python Witch. I can't, what? No, I want Python Witch, not Switch. I find Monty Python Witch Trial. Okay, so hopefully you found out about the Monty Python Witch Trial as well. That's even more important than the Python Witch you're talking about. So definitely, if you've never watched the Monty Python Witch Burning Trial clip, definitely watch that. Or I should say, The Quest for the Holy Grail. Good stuff. All right. Led myself on a wild goose chase. That's not your fault. Okay, so let's do this export function. Calc. Yeah, that's fine. That's not really that useful. All right. It's one of those cases where I just need to stop paying attention to GitHub Copilot for a little bit. So what I'm going to be passing in is what will it be? Whew. Tricky. I could let each rendered node measure itself and report back in a callback what its height was. If I do it that way, then I don't need to have like hacky checking the DOM for all the elements type stuff in it. I do kind of like that. Okay, so let's export this type. So the way that would work, let me just think it out in a comment for a moment. And intentionally not looking at the Copilot comments. From screen. Spiel screen. On receive node height. Okay, pass that to Spiel's pane. Pass that to Spiel nodes view. Pass that to Spiel node view. Okay, and this is gonna Spiel node view is gonna measure its own height and call receive node height. Okay, all the way back up to the top at Spiel screen. Okay, Spiel screen on receive node height node no height. It's going to update drag measurements. That's so weird. That's so weird. So what just happened right now chills me a little bit. So there's this GitHub Copilot that's making automatic suggestions. Now I typed 2 letters and then I said out loud, update drag measurements. I said that, I didn't type it. And then GitHub Copilot completed this with exactly what I spoke aloud. It's like it read my, it's like it heard me. I know it didn't, but it is like it heard what I said out loud. What it actually did is even more impressive than that. It predicted what I was thinking. But by the way, Ofo, if you do get into GitHub Copilot, it might fuck you up a bit as a new person trying to learn stuff. It could help you, but like if you start getting this pattern of just accepting like the answers it gives and trying to get it to give you the answer, it can kind of pull out your own self-sufficiency and becomes like a crutch. Not that you were talking about using it, but I wonder about the coders coming up, if they're not going to be hobbled by some of these AI tools. Okay. I got my plan though. And this is much better than the first approach, which I was thinking of, which was to have like one function that would take a DOM element and figure out all the heights by kind of like traversing the DOM. This is more future-proof the way I'm going to do it. So on receive node height, we'll start with spiel node view. Then I have to measure the ref. Import. Let's see. I always forget. I always forget the syntax for creating refs. Okay, it's going to be container. Yeah, thank you. Okay, down here. Do ref. Yeah, equals that. Good. Okay. Then I'm also going to need a use effect. Now here's an opportunity for Copilot to shine. Let's see. It's got some context of what I'm starting to try to do. Does it have enough? Yeah, you're starting to get it. Let's see. Let's see how it does. Okay, maybe. Here, see if you get it. That's pretty good. Ah, dang it. Okay. Cool. So we say if the container ref is set, we're going to call on receive node height, which I want to destructure. Okay. And I kind of like to avoid these nested things. We'll just return without doing anything in this case. Okay. And then this is pretty good. What's the complaint? Expected 0 to 1 arguments, but got 2. Okay. Hold on. Also, this won't work. What I really want is I'm missing like some syntax thing. Okay, hold on. Okay, so that didn't work. Use ref. I think I'm missing like a parenthesis or something. Okay, let's just take things out line by line until it compiles. Okay. No? Did I not say use? I did say use ref above. Oh. No, it's not use ref. It's use effect. That's my issue. Okay, use effect. Okay. Okay. So that wasn't bad what it said though. I kind of wonder if that's correct. Current. Can I get it to change like that? I think that works. I mean, I'll test it at some point and make sure that when the client height changes, it updates this. Okay. Okay, so we measure that, we get the height, we call the onReceive node height. Okay, that will go up a level. Okay, to Spiel nodes view. And this one's different though. It's not the same callback. It is onReceive node height. Yep, you got it. You got it. That's very good. Okay. And let's see if we can figure this one out. Because there's a little translation here. Yep, you got it. Very good. But I do like to destructure just to make things more legible. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go up. Spiel nodes view to Spiel pane. And it feels like this is not in alphabetical order, so I'm going to fix that up. Okay. onReceive. Yeah, that's cool. So first it was silent, then I typed in the first part of what I intended and figured the rest out. And it did use the correct signature. Okay, so down below, need to pass in the destructured onReceive node height prop. Yes, correct. Okay. Then we go up to Spiel screen. What am I looking at? Okay. Props. Where are you at, props? Oh, I don't do props here. Here I'm actually at the end of the line. I have to use that to update the measurements. The measurements are going to be a use state variable, and it is what I call them, drag measurements. So we'll do const drag measurements. It probably would have give a better suggestion if I had imported this to begin with. Hard to prove that, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, I don't need this to be null initially. What I should probably do, no, let's keep it null, and then let's see, the spiel. The spiel is what let's see, the spiel is what initializes the drag measurements. So use effect after mount. I could set them to something there, but I think that will just cover the initial mount. What would make more sense Nope, I'm changing my mind even again. Let's just create an empty measurements thing. I think I can create the structure such that it just kind of gets updated automatically. Okay. Create drag measurements. Okay. Arguably, I could just make drag measurements a class and do a constructor. That might be nicer. But let's begin with this. Yeah, that's basically it. I like to do that just so I can get syntax checks. Well, let me see, is that really necessary? Let's do one that's wrong. X3. Okay, so that should squiggle. No squiggle? Okay. Well, it doesn't seem to give me any additional checks, so let's take that out. Alright, so that will create your drag measurements and come back to Spiel screen, and then this guy is an import. Okay. Alright, so then here we go on receive node height. That's not correct, but it's all right. Update drag measurements, and then we'll pass in node no height. Yep, those are the ones. Those are what I needed. Okay, come back over to here. Spiel screen, no, drag interactions. Okay, let's see, update drag measurements, and let's do that, and we'll say number, and we'll say height. I'm going to be impressed if it gets the body of this function right. And this will be a function. Yeah, that's right. That works. Okay. Then I can delete this. I just did all that work. Okay. So then, and this is the fun one. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna really give GitHub Copilot an ambitious function to try to implement. This function finds the node that corresponds to the current drag position along the y-axis. All right, this is your big chance to shine. Let's see what you do. I mean, oh, okay, you're saying you want more specification. I'm okay with what you just said there. I think that's correct. So, okay, find insert after node number. Let me modify this a little bit, but pretty good to start. Okay, export function, find insert. Yeah, I do like your naming. That's pretty good. But let's have this. Dang it. It won't wait for me to fix the thing, but I'm just going to hit tab and evaluate what it put there. Okay. Okay, so you said drag position equals offset y. Okay, I might change some of the naming there. Insert after node equals null. Well, that won't work with the return there. That's okay. That's easily fixed. I think, honestly, I do want to allow for null. Okay, so then you go through each of the node heights and you say, yeah, nice try, but not correct. Not correct. Because the drag position needs to be compared not to the individual height of each element, but to how far cumulatively we've gotten. So let's see. Let's do let start. Yeah, correct. Okay. And then end height, it can be 0 to start, but what we'll do is we'll say for each one, yes, that. Okay. Now, do I need to check the start height? I don't really. So if I say this is less than end height, honestly, I can just return I. And then down here, I can just return null. It's like saying we didn't find it. But in this case, honestly, I could just return the last drag measurement. Okay, return drag measurements. Yeah, that one. Okay. Now up here, I don't need this anymore. I don't need the start height. I think there's some more nuance to this function, but it's pretty close to correct. So the nuance is that if you're dragging above the midpoint of a node, then it should insert before that node rather than after it. So the original stuff I was doing with the start height still applies. Yeah, closer. Okay. Don't try to guess. Const. Good. Good. That is what I was going to type. That is what I was going to type. Okay. So what I want to say is if drag position is less than the middle height, return. Okay. I gotta remember my constants. -1 means before that point. So if you're looking at the node number 0 and you're above the middle height, then it's going to be I minus 1, okay? And then I'll go to the next node, and there I need, yes, thank you. That's what I wanted to type. Okay. This one might be good to unit test. Okay, the other thing to think about is maybe these drag measurements aren't all defined. So I'm going to say that if we find even one that is undefined, we'll just return null. Might as well say number. Here, let's do that. Yes. Okay. Yes. God, how is it? Geez, how is it this good? Let's do number or undefined. Okay. Okay, so if any are undefined, we're not done measuring. Let's just get out, cut our losses. We'll return null, which means, you know, it's just not, okay. Okay, so then as we go through, yeah, it circles through, and at the end of it, say your drag position is past the middle height of the very last node number, of the very last node, then I just return the length here. Okay, there is one more aspect to this, which is it's possible that while we're updating drag measurements, Um, boy, this part's tricky. So the use case I'm looking at is, say there's 10 nodes, and they've all been, all their measurements have been updated inside the drag measurements, and then you delete the 10th node. And in that case, you don't want the array inside of drag measurements to contain that extra node at the end. It should be gone. It should just go away. There should then be 9 nodes. So let me create one more function. This comment here is not so great. Or rather, I prefer to have self-documenting functions instead of having the comments go out of date. Okay. Export function. Don't ignoring Copilot for a moment. It doesn't know what I'm going to write. Remove drag measurements. To match. Yeah, node count. I think it knows what I want. Oh, here. Come on, just fill it in. Okay. Okay. Let's. Oop, no, I liked what you had. Okay. Let's make this more generic. Update drag measurements to yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay. I feel like I'm pushing it as far as getting all this stuff working inside of this session. All the pieces are here to finish this. Is this broken? It is broken. Yeah, update drag measurements. Spiel screen. Let's just get it to compile. Okay. Okay. Well, but this is really close. This is really close. So if I come back to drag interactions, and I say that on node drag is going to pass in drag measurements. Okay, then down here, do that. And actually, I'm okay for it to set it to null as well. Okay. It would just be so wild if this works immediately out of the box. It would be quite wild. Okay, yeah, gotta correct that. So here, pass in drag measurements. I mean, not bad for a first crack at this, to be very honest. I hadn't expected to do anything resembling what was wanted. Not bad. Wow. Didn't let go. So I did measure all that, all those rows. There is something about the offset that I'm going to have to figure out. But a thing that's encouraging to me is that that line is roughly correlated to my drag position. Or, I mean, it is like kind of constantly correlated to my drag position. It's just that the offset it needs some other kind of offset. And I'll have to figure that out a little bit later. I actually made way more progress today than I thought I was going to be able to make. So I'll just keep going with this tomorrow. It does usually bug me when there's like a little feature or bit of functionality that doesn't exactly work at the end of the session. But I've made so much progress today that's not even bothering me at all. It's just kind of magic how much help I got from GitHub Copilot, and you know, how I got like maybe twice as much done as I would have predicted. Yeah, quite happy with this session. All right, so I'm going to stop the session here. Very nice to meet Ofo. Good luck on your Python stuff. Hope you come back and hang out again. But now it's time for me to go round up some dinner for myself.
Just look away.
Stopping the stream. Stopping the stream.
So it doesn't matter.
Stopping the stream.
I've pushed people
Stop
by